Well, my name is Leanne, and I am a 3-day walker. I have walked in the Dallas 3-day event for 2 years, and I'm walking this year in both Dallas and Atlanta. And I don't have one favorite 3-day memory. I have three. So I hope that that is okay. The first year that I walked in Dallas, my first 3-day event, I walked with all kinds of new friends. I was walking on a team, but I didn't know anyone else on the team except for a dear friend of mine who recruited me to walk in the event. She was the only one I knew. So on the last day, there were 5 of us that I didn't know from Adam before the event, and we stuck together the whole last day, all 18, felt like 150 miles. And we stuck together, we walked together, we encouraged each other, and it was an incredibly challenging day, as you can imagine. And when we walked into the holding area where there was balloons and excitement and music and lots of fun, we all linked arms. Really, I didn't know these people at all, and we're linking arms and we're crying and we walk into this holding area. Such a powerful moment for me. But even more than that, within being in the holding area for like 30 seconds, I saw my friend who recruited me to walk, who was walking for her mother, and I can't even think about this story without crying. She ran up to me and gave me a big hug, and she said, "You did it." And I cried and was so overwhelmed because I didn't know that I could walk 60 miles. I didn't know that I could be a part of something that was so much bigger than I am. And at that moment, I had just done it, and the pain in my feet and the sweat and everything was overwhelming. But hearing from her that I had done it was so incredible. Another 3-day moment comes from this past year. My sister walked with me for the first time last year in Dallas, so she had the benefit of hearing all of my stories from the first year and from experiencing it through me that first year. And I told her the magic that is the cheering stations. You walk through miles of people and children, grandparents, candy, all kinds of things cheering. And I said to my sister, it is like they're cheering just for you. And she thought I was crazy. She said, "That's just ridiculous. There's thousands of walkers. They're not cheering just for you." I said, "No, it really feels like they're cheering just for you, that they would be cheering whether you were the only one walking or not." And this past year, we walked through cheering stations together. And we walked through our first one on the first day, that Friday morning. And I looked at her and I said, "Do you get it?" And she said, "They were cheering just for me." And she got it. And it was so special to share that moment with her. And my third memory is is a challenging one. My sister and I, when we walked together, we walked very quickly. We're a front of the pack group. And we walked very quickly, and that 57th mile on that event was brutal. I was tired. We weren't walking really with anyone else, so we were tired of being together, just the two of us, and I wanted to quit. I had walked every step of the 57 miles, but I was ready to just say, "I'm done. I can't do this anymore." And I was crying and frustrated, and she was encouraging me to keep going. So we started thinking about all of the people that we knew that were battling cancer, not just breast cancer, but cancer in general. And we thought about a dear friend of ours who has prostate cancer, who's undergoing chemo, and one of my sorority sisters who's barely 30, who's also undergoing chemo and dealing with breast cancer, and our grandmother who passed away 31 years ago. And we start naming all of these names and talking about what they go through every day, what radiation does to them, what chemotherapy does to them, what this has done to their family. And it didn't make the 57th mile any easier, but it got us through that 57th mile and really put things into perspective on why we're doing this. It's easy to forget why exactly it is that we do this, why we have so much pain, why we're so crazy. And it was a great reminder of why we're doing this, to find a cure for breast cancer so that we can find a cure for all cancer.